In the previous video, we have discussed the introduction to Python. Now it's time to install Python interpreter and also any editor of our choice. Now I'm going with Visual Studio Code because it has many debugging and session kind of things while writing the code. In addition to Python, we can even use it for other programming languages too. Without any further delay, let's download Python. Open the browser, any browser, and search for Python download. Click on the link where you can find python.org. It is the official link of Python. And then click on the download Python button. It will install the latest version of the Python. Here the latest version is 3.12.0. If you want to install a specific version, you can scroll it down. You can see there are many other versions too. You can install any one of them. Better you can install the latest version. After downloading, you can see the exe file in the downloads folder. You can double click the exe file to install the Python interpreter. Now, in this step, we are going to check the second box which is unchecked here to add Python exe in the environment variables instead of setting it manually. Yes, we should go to environment variables and we have to find the path and add our Python exe there. Instead of doing all these steps, we can configure here itself. In this installation window, we can see there are two options, install now and customize installation. We can choose any one of them. We can directly click on install now button where the location to install our Python is already predefined, or we can use the customize installation button. So let's go for customize installation button first. These are all the optional features where we can uncheck them based on our own choices as it is customized, but they all will get installed by default when we use install now. You can customize Python location and make sure to install it for all users. Click on install button. Now it will ask admin permissions to install. Just click yes. It is going to install all the features and will show us the progress. It is initializing the features now, which we have customized in the previous step, like Python documentation files, pip, which is used for installing Python packages, IDLE, integration development learning environment. We'll work on it practically once it is installed. Let's wait. Yeah, as it started installing all the features, it takes some time. Meanwhile, let me download and install VScode. Search for Visual Studio Code download or else a VScode download. Now click on the link where it shows download Visual Studio Code for Mac, Linux, Windows. Once you click on the link, it will take you to the download page where you can find the downloads for Windows, Linux and Mac OS. In my case, I'm downloading Windows. It started downloading VScode exe. It is in progress. Let's check for Python also. It is also installing the features which we have seen earlier, like development environment, which we call it as IDE or IDLE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. It is a software environment which usually consists of software development package like code editor, build automation tools, and debugger. There are many IDEs out there, but PyCharm and Spider are generally used only for Python, and few editors like Notepad, VS Code, Sublime, we use them for any programming languages. Let me tell you the reason why I have chosen VS Code, because it has many features like it gives us suggestions while writing code. It highlights the syntax for inbuilt functions and statements and also highlights the error while coding. We can easily debug the files while running. Exe is downloaded. Let's open it in the downloads folder. Double click on the exe to install VS Code. It takes some time to load the setup window and install VS Code. At once it is done, I will be showing the small demo programs in VS Code and Python IDE just to make you familiar with the editor and the environment. The setup window is ready. Accept the agreement. Click on Next. Here you can check this box to create a desktop icon and also use Open with Code feature where we can right click on a file or folder in File Explorer and choose Open with Code option to open that specific file or folder in VS Code. Click on Next and then install it. Now it's preparing to install. It is extracting the files that are required for setup and installation. Let's wait for some time. It is almost completed. Yeah, done. Let's click on finish. It will launch the VS Code. At first, we will get the welcome page. Here you can see there are many icons on the left side bar. This is extensions. I will explain them one by one in the further videos. This icon represents files and folders. We can open a folder from here. Any folder of our choice. You can create any folder in any directory you want. I'm going to my KD code folder and creating a new folder here and named it as Python series. Select this folder, open it in the VS Code. I will be creating every file in this folder only for this Python series. It is a small pop-up. Just click on yes, I trust the orders to enable all the features. Let's create new file. This icon is used to create new file and the second icon is used to create new folder. This is the extensions tab. Go inside the tab. As we are going to work on Python programs, we need to install Python extension to help VS Code to identify the file as Python when we save it in .py extension, because Python file should be saved with .py extension. So search for Python extension and install it. In my case, it is already installed, so it is showing as uninstall like that. After installing, it will be showing the same options for you also. Just install this extension. Now let's create a new file and I named it as first.py, where first is the file name and .py is the file's extension. So now we can see that the VS Code identify the file as Python. Why? Because we named it with .py extension. Now let's write simple statements in the editor, like print. Print statement is used to display any number of objects. The objects may be integer, string, float. At this moment, if you are a beginner and not aware of these points, no need to worry. We'll explain everything in deep in the next video. Here you can see the VS Code is highlighting the syntax and documentation for the print statement. While coding, if you have any doubts regarding the syntax or documentation for any function, you can always check it here in the highlighted text. And it's also showing the parameters and their definition. Like for print statement, parameters are object values to display in console. Separator, it separates the object values and its default value is space. And end parameter, it is placed at the end of the each print statement. By default, it is a new line character. I will be explaining all these things more briefly in the further videos. Here we are printing hi beginners. We are giving the string value in the double quotes in the print statement, and we can run this file by using this triangle symbol. There are many ways to run this file. Debug Python file. This can be used when we use breakpoints. It is easy to debug the file when we use debug Python file option and breakpoints. Easier to track all the variables. We can run this file directly by using two options, run code and run Python file. Let's run this file. The output is hi beginners. If you see here, I have Python 3.8.8 running currently in this terminal. But the latest version we have installed is Python 3.12.0. So I am changing the version here. Python 3.12.0 is activated now. Let's rerun this file. Yeah, the output is hi beginners. So we successfully run the code using Python 3.12.0. Let's check the version of the Python in command prompt. Open command prompt and type python --- version to show the current Python version. It is Python 3.12.0. And type Python to open interpreter there itself. Interpreter is opened. Let's execute simple statements here, starting with addition 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2. Output is 3 and it is displayed in the immediate next line in the console. Let's print Python. It is also displayed in the immediate next line. As it is interpreter, it will execute line by line. Let's check the IDLE installed along with Python. This is the IDLE for Python. We can run the same sample commands here also. Let's configure the IDLE. Let's increase the size from 10. Here it is 10. From 10 to maybe 20. Okay, then apply. Then okay. Yes, it is increased from 10 to 20. Let's execute the same commands here, starting with the arithmetic operations. Addition 1 plus 2. Here it is displayed 3. Yes, same in the command prompt. Multiplication can be performed using asterisk symbol. So 2 into 3, the output is 6. And subtraction 10 minus 5 is 5. Output is 5. Let's print something. Print of Python. The output will be Python. Let's initialize a variable a equal to 5. Let's print the variable print of a. The output will be 5. I will explain about the variables and values in the next video. We can even create the file to write the coding part in this IDLE. File, open new file. Let's configure it. I have changed the size. Let's write our code here. A equal to Python print a. Try to save it. Control S to save the file. You can save it in any location you want. And I am naming it as first python.py. It is saved. Run it. Run module, or you can use F5 to simply run the module or the file. The output is Python. It is being printed in the console. If you want to edit the same file, you can go to file, open, go to the location where you have saved the file, open the same file, first python.py, open. You can edit the same file. B equal to 10 asterisk 2. 10 to the 20. So print of B. Let's make it little bit fancy. So 10 cross 2 equal to B. So 10 to the 20. It will be printing the same format. Run module or F5. Anyway, the output is Python 10 to the 20. It is displayed in the same format. We can even edit it from the VScode also. I have saved the file in the same location, Python series, so it is also displayed here. It is the same code and the same file. Let's edit it from here. C equal to, let's try string Python is very easy to understand. Python is very easy to understand. Let's print it. Print of C. print of C. Let's run it. The output is Python 10 to the 20. Python is very easy to understand. You can even change the themes of this VS Code, the color basically. I have used the dark mode. You can use the light mode as like this. Accordingly, the color will changes in the file. Let's rerun it. Output doesn't change, right? It is only the theme. Comment down the favorite theme to be continued in the further videos. I will be explaining about variables and values, print statement and input data types in the next video. Thanks for watching.